this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Overgrowth, where we're into Game 2 of the best of 3 between these two pretty darn good players, competing to win the £100 available in today's online cup. This is the last match. It does all come down to this, and potentially it'll all finish with this very game. Spawning in the top right position, representing mYinsanity, ladies and gents, playing as the yellow Zerg player, it is Petraeus. His opponent, however, is putting a dent in his plan for the evening because he's currently 1-0 up in this best of 3. He's playing as the blue Protoss player and represents Team Millennium. It is Lilbow. Lilbow at the moment, an incredibly strong performance today, and I have to say, that timing in game number 1, it didn't just beat Petraeus, it snuffed him out, guys. That timing when you're finally getting those enduring locusts and you haven't quite got that many swarm hosts on the field is always going to be your most vulnerable point. And Lilbow didn't just see it, he saw it, wedged an iceberg in the middle of it and prized it open with so much force that there was absolutely no hope in hell that Petraeus was going to be able to hold that attack once those warp-ins started. So a very, very strong opening statement here from Lilbow, and Petraeus is going to have to think of a way to try and come back here in game number 2. Instant scout from Lilbow will... Ooh, actually spots a timing on the spawning pool there as well. It looks so cute and tiny there. It actually isn't, don't worry. Miniature buildings, god, they'd be tough to scout. I'm sure there's a mod where that kind of stuff happens. Fortunately, that's not what we're playing here, so don't even worry about it. And we have the probe waiting to put down the Nexus. There's the 400 minerals. And we have Hatch first and Nexus after Gateway coming out from Lilbow here. So, things that both players can do. I think Petraeus really has to be a little bit more reactionary here. It depends on whether Lilbow wants to be going for aggression off of these two bases. We've seen Lilbow already today go for heavy, heavy aggression off of two bases, sneaking with a lot of zealots in his last PvZ, for example, and was able to take his opponent out. As soon as you don't respect the rush, the pressure can get piled on. That's the use of the warp gate mechanic here in this matchup. And Petraeus, of course, will be all too aware of that. He's in WCS Premier League for a reason. However, we're nowhere close to that stage of the game yet, so let's keep an eye on what kind of tech choices our players happen to have. The Cybernetics core is about to complete here. And, ooh, alright. Not too much out of the ordinary. I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a sneaky, sneaky third base, but of course that's a massive risk to take before... I don't know, before you know too much, but he's going to be thinking about it right about now. He is going to be thinking about it, and he's actually just sending an overlord over to make sure there aren't going to be any sneaky pylons get put down when this drone becomes the hatch. So there's the third base coming from Petraeus, and this pair of Lings will get to scout everything inside the main base, although it's not going to be much right now. He will see the level of energy on that Nexus. Spot that the Chrono Boost is currently being used in the Gateway, and actually that's about it. No real tech choices have been made by our Protoss player just yet. The third base has now gone down for Petraeus, the Overlord keeping a watchful eye over the surrounding area. We've got a Zealot, Stalker, and Mothership core, so a little bit of early game pressure coming out from Lilbow. Note, by the way, no pylon out in the middle of the map, so there isn't a sneaky probe. In fact, is that the sneaky probe? No, that's a Stalker as well. So this really is just a bit of light pressure. He's not looking to reinforce super, super quickly. He is making another 2 gateways. Oh, and he needs to run! That's a lot of Zerglings! What is going on here? And 12 Zerglings. Oh, very, very nice. Leaving the Zealot cornered so the Zerglings can't surround him on all sides. But the Stalker needs to get the heck out of dodge. He is not going to be happy with that. That gets surrounded. The Zealot's going to go as well. I'm almost certain. No, he's actually choosing to move on ahead. And, well, that response certainly wasn't expected by Lilbow. Petraeus trying to be as aggressive as he can in this game, too. He's actually only on 32 workers versus 37 at the moment. It completely eliminates any sort of early game map control here. This Mothership core will be able to drive these Zerglings away, but basically can't kill everything off. Can't be in about 12 places at once here, and I love this Overlord placement. Look, sees that pylon as soon as it goes down, and is trying to get a word in to see if he can spot any sort of hidden tech. Extra gateways and a forge going down at the moment, still not being able to tell what the potential late game is going to be from Lilbow. Petraeus, in the meantime, has now got his Roach 1 and is starting Burrow as well. So a potential for a Roach Burrow attack if he wants to go super aggressive. Otherwise, just, you know, bypassing force fields and all that good jazz before Lilbow perhaps has that observer vision and can kill off the Roaches while they're burrowed. +1 immediately starting for Lilbow, though, so he's also potentially looking to get aggressive here, and this game could end very, very fiery, regardless of which way it goes. Gleal Reconstitution instantly going down as the layer completes for these Roaches, and he is now starting to build them. He's on 48 drones, now 51 versus 49. So let's see where he stops droning, which will give us a great indicator for when, if he wants to be attacking at some point soon. These creep Shumers are being spread beautifully out into the center of the map here. And Lilbow, in the meantime, is keeping really nice control of the area between his natural expansion and his third base location. Just saying, look, my army is going to be quite versatile here. I've got a hallucinated Phoenix. I'm going to be able to scout anything you throw at me. I can't stop your attack in the middle of the map, maybe, but I can certainly stop it from getting to my base without me knowing about it. And that's kind of his goal right now. But he's moving it across the left while some Lings move down to the right-hand side. He has to be a little careful here. There is a Photon Cannon that should comfortably deal with 4 Zerglings. I don't think that's going to be an issue whatsoever. And in the meantime, Petraeus is slowly starting to sneak units out into the middle of the map. That hallucinated Phoenix actually spotted a couple of Roaches. Is it enough to alert him to something, though? The tower vision does belong to our Zerg player right now. And Lilbow's vision out in the middle of the map is not that strong. What he did have was the hallucinated Phoenix seeing that the third base is alive and saturated, but he hasn't seen all the units moving across. Is it going to be enough? Tunneling Claws only just been started, and here we go, moving into the natural expansion, trying to bait out that Photon Overcharge. Successfully does so. Is he going to pick off that pylon? Yeah, he's going to try and pick off that pylon. Why not? Getting a second one as well. Unpowering these gateways might actually be quite useful for him. There we go. And are we going to see some action over here at the third? It looks like if these Roaches don't stand a chance against this army. Excellent use of Burrow there. And do we have an observer out on the field? No! I don't believe we even have a robotics facility on the way. So this is going to be entertaining. A Twilight Council now. Ow, and with Burrow movement, this could end up being pretty dangerous indeed, but it's still only halfway done. More and more Roaches coming out now. He's trying to put a lot of pressure over here on the third base. 138 supply versus 75. If this third Nexus goes, then I think he stands a good chance of potentially just taking this game outright. Right now, though, it's... well, with the Photon Overcharge, he's starting to whistle away at these Roaches, but there are about 7 or 8 of them left, picking up this Nexus. If he gets another Warp in, oh, never mind, these Roach reinforcements might just seal the deal on this third base, at least. Hydralisk Den going down now. Robotic Facility still only halfway done. Tunneling Claws seconds from completion. And as a result, these Roaches are going to be able to Gangnam style all the way into the natural expansion. There's not a lot he can do about it. An Observer's still about 30 in-game seconds away. Oh, well, he hasn't even rebuilt the wall. He's just building cannons because he realizes, actually, I might not be fast enough to deal with this. 133 supply versus 75 right now. Petraeus bidding to make this game his equalizer so we can force it into a game 3. A lot of minerals have been used on these cannons because these are basically emergency contingency cannons coming out here from Lilbow, who is just trying to stay alive in this portion of the game. A fourth base is being taken in the meantime from Petraeus. He is using his advantageous position here to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself one of those gold bases. He's got 3 spine crawlers protecting it. He's saying, I reckon I can consolidate here. If I don't attack you with this massive army, it's defending. A huge economic advantage. Going up to 3 bases plus a gold versus a 2-base Protoss that just had the third disappear. Yup, I'm fancying the Zerg here. But it's not game over just yet. It looks like Lilbow... Oh, well, I saw a gateway potentially getting put there. And if he completely seals this off, this to me tells me that he's just looking to completely and utterly seal the deal by walling off his base and absolutely moving forward with everything he's got. So we're keeping an eye on that. Is this going to end up being an all-in from Lilbow? He's now quite far behind, to be honest. It's 173 versus 113 supply. He's got +2 attack on his side versus 0 upgrades from the Zerg player. But look at this swarm. That's a lot of Roaches. We've got Hydralisk in for some great DPS as well. And these Lings are getting ready to come around and do a follow-up attack. Which, by the way, is the reason why he may or may not have wanted to consider walling in with that gateway. He does that. Oh, he sees it walled in as well with this Changeling. So Petraeus immediately knows this is basically going to be an all-in coming out from Lil, but he knows it's being prepared right now. And he can just sit back, produce a ridiculous number of units. We see 9 Hydralisks on their way, and prepare to defend this as far out into the middle of the map as he can. Is he going to put another creep tumor down here? This is going to be an excellent place to fight. Here comes the army. Let's take a look at what both players have. It's 66 workers versus 55, but it is 3 bases versus 2. The Lings come in, by the way, to try and do something they realize they can't. He realized he just needs to hold this. The Lings are coming back as well. An excellent decision from Petraeus. Is this going to be enough from Lilbow? Good Guardian Shield going down, but so much DPS from the Zerg army. The Lings coming in from behind as well, picking apart a lot of the Stalkers and the supply from the Protoss. It's holding steady for now, but as the shields disappear, it begins plummeting. There are 3 Immortals. They're doing so much damage, but look at the DPS from these Hydralisks. 175 supply versus 90. GG, and Petraeus turns this game around, turns this series around, and locks it up. We have a 1-all situation going into a deciding game number 3.